Has failure ever stressed you out? Or has it ever happened that a situation went so wrong, you just lost hope in yourself? Well, this talk is about just how we depreciate ourselves, not allowing ourselves to grow, and what we're actually thinking when we're not able to fulfill a task. Now, what we tend to do in such situations is called self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is when we actively or unknowingly take steps that prevent us from reaching our goals. Now, how do you recognize such behavior? One is when you run from conflict rather than facing it because you fear failure and attempt to avoid it. One is when you procrastinate your way out of doing a task, which could have maybe actually been of some value addition to your personality, skills, life even. One extreme trait is when you blame others for when things go wrong because your mind cannot deal with the fact that you're being suppressed. Or on another extreme, your brain makes you reject yourself since the beginning to avoid the external pain for if or when things don't work out. You tend to put yourself down constantly by saying things like, I'm so useless, I can't get one thing right. Wow, I really messed this up, I'm terrible at this. Or why should I even bother, I'm not even gonna make it. Well, let me tell you a little story. I was a 12-year-old little girl when I moved to Mumbai from Kolkata. I'm 16 now. Well, the one thing I always believed from my childhood was that the one thing I'd always excel at was my singing, and I'd always have it to go back to. So there was a function here and I picked up an English song and I poured my heart out on the stage. But nobody listened. Nobody paid attention. Nobody cared. And that made me think that all the appreciation and all the recognition I got back home was biased. Maybe I really did not have any potential in this field. Maybe I was just not good enough. I had given up before I had even started out. Competitions kept coming and going, events kept coming and going, but I ran from them. I continued to pull myself down. But 3 years had gone by and I thought that it was a time for a bit of a retrospection. So I sat and found what went wrong. I became comfortable with that failure and I decided to give myself another chance. I picked a new song, a more relatable one, a classic Hindi one actually, and it became a crowd pleaser. I couldn't have been happier. So what I'm trying to get at here is every mistake is a cost of learning. Dwell on that for some time. So before you take up some task, write down what you actually want to gain out of it. Give yourself enough room to grow and flourish. Write down your triggers which make you want to run away from some task. And don't pull yourself down before you even start out. Be okay to make mistakes. Laugh it off. Try saying, wow, I'm actually as genius as Einstein for when you mess up. Learn from your mistakes. Be real and critical with yourself such that it motivates you to do better. Not critical enough to let yourself go down the path of this destructive behavior. I hope I could make an impact. I hope I brought a point so known to you yet unknown. And I hope I helped change your approach towards your goals. Thank you.